Back to Pristine's Reads. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Fairest Beauty by Melanie Dickerson. This is the third book in the Hagenheim series, and the reason I am not reviewing the series in order is because I ordered this one, the fourth, and the sixth book in the series on Indigo, and those were shipped to me early, whereas the rest I ordered on Amazon, and they are being delayed in shipping. But I just could not wait to read this, as you can read these series in pretty much any order, but I would recommend reading it in the order as some of the characters connect in other following books. That being said, this is the no spoiler video, and let's jump to it. So this is the retelling of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. I think it would be kind of obvious from the cover. Just kind of. So this story follows the second oldest son of Duke and Duchess Gerstenberg, Gebhardt. So Gebhardt, or Gabe as he is called, is a young, flighty man that really has no skills except archery and flirting with girls. So he is kind of in the shadow of his older brother, Valten, who is a knight and a warrior and jousts in all kinds of crazy tournaments and stuff. So Gabe is really in the shadow of his brother when one day this old servant shows up at Hagenheim Castle claiming that Valten's betrothed, Sophie Breitenbach, the daughter of Duke Baldwin, is still alive despite her having supposedly died when she was 2 years old. So the servant says that Sophie is being held in Hohendorf Castle, which is where the evil Duchess Ermengarde resides. Duchess Ermengarde was the second wife of Duke Baldwin after his first wife passed away. So she's also Sophie's stepmother, but Sophie does not know that she is the Duke's daughter, and that Duchess Ermengarde is just keeping her as a scullery maid because she doesn't want anybody to find out that she faked Sophie's death. The servant claims that Sophie is in great danger from the Duchess and urges the Gerstenberg family to go and save her as soon as possible. That being said, the servant immediately died because of the long and torturous walk she took to escape Hohendorf Castle, which is a 7-day ride from Hagenheim. So the Gerstenberg family agonizes over what to do, as they think Valten should be the one to go save Sophie. But Valten had broken his leg in a tournament a week earlier and is laid up in bed, and he can't ride, he can't walk, can't do anything pretty much. So they decide to postpone the hunt for Sophie until Valten is well, but Gabe rebels against his parents' wishes and goes to rescue Sophie because he feels like he has done nothing noble in his life, and this would be his first adventure and the first big thing he could do. So he arrives at Hohendorf Castle under the guise of a traveling pilgrim that also sings and plays the lute. And so he meets Sophie and gets proof of her identity from an old servant that used to work at the castle back when Duke Baldwin was still alive. And so Sophie finds out that she is Duke Baldwin's daughter and is in disbelief. But Gabe gets found out by the Duchess that he is not actually a pilgrim, and Gabe gets thrown in the dungeon. So Duchess Ermengarde enlists one of her huntsmen to go take Sophie into the woods and kill her, as, like the classic Snow White tale, the Duchess has this thing about being the fairest of them all, and Sophie is beating her. So the Duchess tells the huntsman to take her into the woods and kill her, but the huntsman is unable to, and he ties Sophie up to a tree, goes and releases Gabe, and lets Gabe rescue her and carry her away from the castle. So The Duchess finds out, of course, and is furious and sends all of her henchmen after them to go kill them and bring their bodies back to her. But Gabe and Sophie escape from the castle and ride to the Cottage of the Seven. They're not all dwarves. They're more like the men who were outcast from society, but they are still kind and good-hearted, and they will take care of Gabe and Sophie. So while they are escaping and when they arrive at the Cottage of the Seven, they both realize that they have fallen in love with each other, although they know that Sophie is technically betrothed to Valton, and therefore they cannot have any kind of relationship whatsoever. So they both know that Sophie is rightfully Valton's, and they have no right to love each other. But is there a way for them to be together without violating their obligations? You'll have to find out. So now I'm going to give you the morals of this book. So first is Christian beliefs / other worldviews. Again, these characters are extremely Christian. Again, the Christianity is a bit on the Catholic side, as this is medieval Germany and the Holy Roman Empire, but all very sound doctrine, and I didn't find anything wrong with the faith they represented here. I love how they asked God for guidance in their relationship, which is how it should be in real life, and how they ultimately decided to thank God no matter what happened to them. I also loved the close-knit family themes here, and I did not find any other prominent worldviews displayed in the book. Duchess Ermengarde did dabble in magic and poison, as of course the poisoned apple shows up in this book, but there was a wonderful twist regarding that apple, the Duchess and Sophie, but see my super spoiler video for that. Next is foul language. Gabe thinks the D word on page 271, thinking it in reference to something another character said, but otherwise there is nothing else of concern. Next is violence. Again, this book is not centered around battles, and the only thing I think was when the huntsman tried to kill Sophie, and also when the Duchess's other huntsmen were chasing them down, and they sustained a few wounds, but nothing gory or bloody. And as for romance, again, this is a clean romance. There is nothing inappropriate here. Gabe and Sophie share a few kisses, but there's nothing else. As for alcohol, there is one reference to a servant and a huntsman getting drunk in the woods, but we have no further detail on that. So for my rating and recommended age level, I am happy to rate this. Again, 4.5 stars. So amazing. I love this so much. I cannot wait to read the rest of the series, and I highly recommend them. Again, my recommended age level is 13 to 14 plus, as of the higher maturity level, I think. But again, parents, please use discretion. And yeah, I loved this so much, and I think Melanie Dickerson outdoes herself with every book in the series. But again, thanks for watching, guys. Bye!